The abyss dream. They say if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss gazes back. We, as divers, understand this better than anyone, but we never imagined that one day it would blink. My name is Sam. I've spent my entire adult life underwater. At my side always were Liam and Chloe. Liam was our captain, the eternal adventurer, obsessed with legends. Chloe was our anchor, the pragmatist, the tech head, the one who always checked the gear twice. And I was the chronicler, the one who recorded our follies. We weren't just friends, we were a team. This story, like all the best ones, began with a whisper, a yellowed page Liam acquired from some maritime map trader in Manila. It was a fragment of a logbook. It spoke of the last chaotic days of World War II, of a German U-boat spotted far from any theater of war in a remote stretch of the Pacific. The legend, pieced together from other sources, claimed the boat wasn't just hiding, it was unloading. Indigenous people from atolls hundreds of miles away told their grandfathers how the iron whale would surface for weeks at a time, always near the same nameless, uninhabited rocky island. They saw cargo being moved ashore, valuables, trophies plundered from Europe and Asia, gold, art, all hidden in a cave whose entrance, the rumor said, was only accessible from under the water. For Liam, it became an obsession. For Chloe, a fascinating technical challenge. For me, the last great adventure. We spent half a year preparing. We leased a yacht, the Odyssey, stocked it with the best gear, trimix tanks, underwater scooters, and provisions for a month. For 2 weeks, we sailed through an endless, empty blue. The ocean was calm, as if holding its breath. Finally, Liam's GPS pinged. We were at the coordinates. Around us, to the horizon, there was nothing but water. No island. There isn't supposed to be an island, Liam said, checking the sonar. The legend says it's a guyot, a seamount. The entrance it's somewhere down there, 30 meters. The weather was perfect. We checked our gear and stepped into the void. The water was warm, impossibly clear. Sunbeams pierced the surface, becoming dancing golden spears. At 30 meters, we found it. Not just a crack, it was a perfect, almost rectangular hole in the coral plateau. A dark, eerie maw leading horizontally into the body of the seamount. We switched on our high-intensity dive lights. The beam illuminated the first chamber, and we froze in awe. This wasn't a narrow passage, it was an underwater cathedral. For millennia, water had carved colossal halls, passages, and archways. We were floating, weightless, through a drowned palace. We moved slowly, methodically, running our guideline. Chloe checked the air composition, I checked the map. We swam for over an hour, pushing deeper and deeper, until the labyrinth led us to it. The door. It rose from the cavern floor, colossal, rusted, covered in barnacles. It wasn't just a door, it was a bulkhead, a watertight seal, the kind you'd find on a submarine or a bunker. It was German. We had found it. Liam swam up and tried to turn the massive valve wheel. It wouldn't budge, fused shut by rust. I tried to help. Together we put our weight against it. I felt something sharp dig into my palm. The edge of the wheel had torn through my glove and my skin. It's useless, Liam's voice crackled over the comms. It's locked from the inside, or just seized by 80 years of salt. We need tools, Chloe said. A crowbar, maybe a hydraulic jack, and definitely more tanks. And food, I added, my stomach aching. We've been down here for hours. We surfaced in a small air pocket Chloe had spotted nearby, a dry cavern the size of a living room. We took off our masks, breathing in the musty, heavy air. I'll go back, Liam said, already checking his dive computer. I can get to the yacht faster alone. I'll grab a pry bar, a couple of fresh tanks, food and water. Liam, that's risky, Chloe started.
The swim back was an hour. I'll do it in 40, he cut her off. You two stay here. Scout the area around this chamber. See if there's another way in. But don't go far. I'll be back. Chloe and I looked at each other. All right, I said. Just be careful. And hurry. Liam nodded, pulled on his mask, and his light disappeared beneath the surface. We were alone. The silence in the cave was almost physical. Only the rhythmic drip, drip, drip of water seeping from the walls. For the first couple of hours, we kept busy. We explored every passage in our chamber, diving into short, flooded tunnels. They were all dead ends. We returned to our dry grotto to conserve air. 4 hours passed. Liam wasn't back. He should have returned by now, Chloe said nervously. Probably trouble on the yacht, I said, trying to sound confident. Maybe the anchor slipped or a storm is brewing. A storm? Sam, the weather was perfect. We put our gear back on and decided to swim back along our guideline, just a little way to meet him. We swam for 10 minutes. Nothing, just darkness and silence. We returned to the grotto. 6 hours. Our unease turned to anxiety. Something's wrong, she whispered. Sam, something's wrong. We wait. We can't leave. We don't have enough air to make it back to the yacht, even if we abandon the line. 8 hours. Our last chocolate bar was gone. Our canteen of fresh water was empty. We sat in the dark, saving our flashlight batteries. And then Chloe said, Sam, do you hear that? What? Music, like a marching song. I listened. Nothing, just the dripping water. Chloe, you're tired. It's your imagination. No, I hear it. Very, very faint. 10 hours. The thirst became agonizing. There was water everywhere, but it was salty, dead, undrinkable. The hunger was a knot in my stomach. We lay on the cold stones, shivering. And then we decided to check our dive gear, which we had left at the water's edge. They were gone. Both my tanks and Chloe's. They had just vanished. Liam, bring back the gear! Chloe screamed, her voice tearing into a shriek that echoed off the walls. I shouted too. We yelled until our throats were raw. Silence. This wasn't fear anymore. It was terror. Liam wouldn't do this. This was a fatal joke. He didn't come back, I whispered, the full weight of it crushing me. He didn't take them. Then who did? We scrambled to the farthest, darkest corner of the grotto. We were trapped. No food, no water, no air to escape. We were buried alive beneath the ocean. Time lost all meaning. Hours blurred into days. Or did they? The thirst was maddening. We started licking the drops from the walls. They were salty, but it was moisture. And then the hallucinations began. I started seeing things. A figure standing in the darkness at the edge of the water. A tall man in a German naval uniform. He just stood there, watching us. I'd flash my light. Nothing. Chloe started talking to someone. She was whispering in German. She doesn't speak German. She said they were angry that we had disturbed their post. I heard voices, dozens of them, whispering from the flooded tunnels. The scrape of metal on metal, as if that rusted valve wheel on the door was slowly turning. I couldn't tell reality from the nightmare. I remember crawling toward the water, desperate to drink the salt, and Chloe hitting me across the face. "Don't you dare," she rasped. Her face in the dying beam of my flashlight looked like a death mask. I looked at my injured hand. The wound was festering, swollen and throbbing with pain. I thought about Liam. What happened to him? Did he drown? Swept away by a current? Or did he just abandon us? At one point, in a fit of despair, I crawled to the water's edge again and screamed, "Let us go! Please, we'll leave!" And the music, that marching song Chloe had heard, suddenly became loud, It was everywhere, blaring from all sides. Then my flashlight died. We were plunged into absolute, total darkness. The last thing I remember is an icy cold and the feeling of someone taking my hand. I blacked out. I woke to the smell of coffee and sunlight streaming through a porthole. I was in my cabin, my bunk, on the Odyssey. I sat up, bolt upright. My body ached, but not in the way it should have. Opposite me, Chloe woke up at the exact same moment. We stared at each other for a second, too. The cabin door opened. Liam walked in. He was cheerful, fresh, smiling. He held 2 mugs of steaming coffee. "Oh, you're awake. I was beginning to think you'd sleep through the whole adventure." He handed us the mugs.
We just stared. "What?" Chloe croaked. "What's happening?" "What do you mean?" Liam raised an eyebrow, amused. "You two passed out as soon as we dropped anchor last night. I barely got you up for dinner. The weather was rough, bit of a storm, but it's a perfect calm now. Ready for the dive?" Chloe and I looked at each other. My heart was hammering so hard I thought it would break my ribs. "Liam," I began slowly, we already dived. Yesterday." "What?" "We found the cave, the door. We sent you back for tools. You never came back. We were in there. We were in there for days." Liam's smile vanished. He looked at us like we were insane. "Guys, what are you talking about? You were so exhausted from the trip you didn't even unpack your gear. Look, the tanks are all still by the rail, untouched. You must have had the exact same dream." "Whoa!" He laughed. It wasn't a laugh. It was the most terrifying sound I'd ever heard. I slowly raised my right hand. My wrist was wrapped in a clean white bandage. I unwound it. Underneath, there was a neat, deep but clean laceration treated with antiseptic, exactly where I had sliced it open on the rusted valve wheel. Chloe saw it. Her eyes filled with terror that matched my own. What happened to your hand?" Liam asked, his laugh dying. I don't remember." I lied, my voice shaking. "Must have hit it on something when we were docking yesterday." We didn't say another word. We got dressed. We told Liam that Chloe was violently seasick, that I didn't like the weather forecast, that we had to go back immediately. He argued, he pleaded, he called us cowards. But he saw something in our eyes. Something that made him stop talking. We pulled up the anchor and left that cursed patch of ocean. We never dived. We never found out what was behind that door. And we still don't know what happened to us. Was it a shared delusion brought on by some gas in that pocket of air? Or did something ancient, something that had been waiting in the dark, hear us, play with us, and then let us go? We never went diving again. I don't know what's more terrifying, what we endured in that darkness, or how we got out. Liam still thinks we just had a weird shared dream. But every time I look at the scar on my hand, I know. We gazed into the abyss, and the abyss gazed back, and I don't think it has looked away since.